Today's video is about postpartum recovery, the 7 habits that help me feel like myself again. I've been sharing a lot recently about becoming a mom over 35. I had my first baby at 35 and my second baby at 37. I share a lot about our life in the countryside and living on the homestead, but I haven't really shared much about postpartum recovery and what has really helped me. So I want to share with you guys some of these mindset shifts and habits that really help me start feeling like I have more energy. I think the biggest thing in postpartum is starting to feel like yourself again, although you are an entirely new person. But as we go through all of the habits, I'll talk with you guys about things that just really help me. Postpartum recovery looks different after each child. It looked different after Eliana. It looks different this time. After my first baby, I definitely had more postpartum anxiety. Now with my second, I can really lean into it a lot more. I know that a lot of these things that I'm experiencing are normal and I don't worry as often because I know babies better. When you have your first baby, there's so much unknown. It's really kind of natural to have amount of anxiety that is manageable. At times it didn't feel manageable really for me, and postpartum is a roller coaster. Having young children is a roller coaster. We had 2 under 2 for a while, so that was wild. There is so much love and there's so many wonderful moments, but there's also wild moments where you just ask yourself, how are we even doing this every day? That's why I'm making this video, so we can chat about all the things that help. Habit number 1, letting go of the pressure to do it all. There is something about us as mothers that make us feel like we need to do it all. It's society, it's social media, it's seeing other moms, but not knowing the ins and outs of other mothers and what's behind the photos and the videos on social media, feeling like everybody's doing it all and we're just never doing enough. And we have to let go of those expectations. I really let go of those for myself. I think the biggest reminder that I like to tell myself is how quickly it all does go. And I think having a second child, you really learn that. Then with your second, it might be a little bit easier to release those expectations. First year with your new baby goes extremely fast, and just having the expectation to enjoy that time with your baby is the best thing that you could do at the same time. Postpartum can be really difficult for some, so if that is the case for you, having that expectation of just enjoying this time might feel like a lot. Just going into it day by day, not setting expectations for yourself, soaking in the good, working through the difficult, and just know that this is that season. This is what we're experiencing, and moving through it the best way that we can. If some of the habits that I talk about throughout this video don't serve you and actually make you feel like you've got more on your plate, then feel free to let it go, because know that not everything that works for me is going to work for you. Habit number 2 is a big one for me, accepting help. I have learned that it's really hard for me to ask for help. Motherhood shows you the light in a lot of ways. You learn so much, and you learn so much primarily about yourself. One of kind of my mantras as I've moved through this new season of motherhood is that accepting help does not make me less capable. It actually helps me show up as a better mother. For instance, right now I'm in the US. I'm staying at my mom's house and I'm getting so much support from her. And this is something I don't really have when I'm back in New Zealand. From time to time we have au pairs, which is really nice, but we haven't had one for several months. And Alex and I both work from home, so getting support while working and juggling the kids and all of that stuff is definitely hard in this season. Our priority is the girls, so a lot of the other things kind of like fall on the back burner, but when we have help, we're really able to kind of prioritize all the things that we need to prioritize in our life, like rest, like work, and it has been such a good time being here with my mom because she just genuinely loves being with the girls all the time. And although I can tell that she gets tired too.
Nona is gonna fall asleep here because Nona didn't sleep well last night.
It takes a lot of work to care for 2 little babies because our girls are only 6 months and not even 2.5 yet. So it is full on caring for them, and it takes a village. So when we're back in New Zealand, there's several things that we do to help us day to day get help from others in whatever way that we can. And that looks different for each individual and every different family. Some people have their parents living down the road for them or in the same city. Some people have nannies, some people have au pairs, some people do daycare, whatever it may be. There is no shame around getting help, asking for help from your partner, and not feeling guilt or shame around that. I know that that is so hard and easier said than done in motherhood, because it's incredible how much guilt and shame we just sort of carry, specifically guilt. I don't know if shame is necessarily something that I carry with me at all these days. When I was trying to conceive and that wasn't going the way that we had planned, there was definitely shame involved in that, which was unwarranted, that I shouldn't have felt, but I did, and that's just part of being human. We feel things that we probably don't need to feel and we don't need to hold on to, but we do anyways. For me now, it's more of a guilt feeling, which is silly because I show up as my best possible self for my girls every day, and I try my very best, and I still deal from time to time with that motherhood guilt. And that just simply means that we love our kids so much. We never feel like we're doing enough for them. And so if you ever feel like that, just know that it's because you're a good parent. Habit number 3, gentle movement. And this kind of plays nicely with habit number 2, which is nourishment, but not perfection. Movement for me is I kind of go with the flow of how I'm feeling. There have been evenings here staying with my mom where like my mom is with my 6-month-old and my 2-year-old is already asleep. And my husband and I are like, okay, cool, let's go on a nice long walk. Or there might be moments where both of the girls are napping and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do a little bit of yoga. And yoga to me right now is a little bit of yin, which is just like long stretches, not necessarily like a core body workout or anything. It's just gentle movement that's making me feel alive again, honestly, because it's amazing how much movement helps with your mental health, but also just like your body. Because caring for a baby or babies is really taxing on your body. If you're breastfeeding, you're constantly like this. If you're just carrying a baby around all day, you're just like lifting and you're arching and you're picking up. And whether you have a toddler, you're picking them up and then your baby. Being a mother is physically taxing. So allowing yourself to move in whatever capacity that is, just stretches in the evening, having moments where you just like breathe and roll your shoulders. It doesn't have to be like this crazy workout, because honestly, I feel like, oh, I'm working out every day. I'm like carrying these babies left and right, and so I'm holding both of them. It is a labor of love for sure, caring for 2 little ones at the same time. I just remember even with Eliana, just having just one that first year, I was just like, and I didn't want to do crazy workouts because I felt like I was already doing them every day. And I'll get back into that when I feel ready. And I think that that's the most important thing, is just like listening to your body and your mind and listening to when you feel ready. If you feel this little spark and you're like, ooh, cool, like I kind of feel like doing a workout today, go with that. But if you don't force it that first year. I'm the mindset of like, never force it, just go with what feels right. But there are times where like, if you're not moving your body at all, you gotta force it. You gotta be like, okay, let's go on a walk. We're moving. Because that is just like a lot of stagnant energy, especially in motherhood. We got to get out of our minds. We gotta get moving. We gotta get fresh air. And that actually brings me into one of my next, which I believe is getting outside every day. It's amazing how not being outside and not getting sunshine can really affect your mental health. Right now it's the summer as I make this video, and so there's plenty of opportunity to get outside as much as you can, even if it's just for a little stroll. I love getting a blanket, putting it out at a park that you love, and just like having a picnic with your baby, letting your baby just be on his or her back and rolling around, or going and meeting a friend for a coffee outside on the patio, whatever it may be. Get outside, take a deep breath, even if it's literally you walking into your backyard and having your coffee outside in the morning. It can totally shift your entire day if you walk outside first thing in the morning and have your coffee outside with your kid. I don't care where you live, whether you're in New York, whether you're in the countryside of New Zealand, you're gonna hear birds at some point, you're gonna feel the breeze at some point, you're gonna get that vitamin D in the morning. And it is so important for us as human beings because we haven't always lived in urban sprawl. We need that energy, we need to feel the wind, we need those sounds, we need to feel the sun, we need to hear the birds to feel our best selves. So if we start the day like that, that's the best thing we could possibly be doing. Focus on nourishment, not perfection. One thing I like to do is be very, very, very gentle with myself postpartum. I don't jump into a workout routine. I don't overthink the food that I'm eating. I don't weigh myself. I don't even know how much I weighed during pregnancy, which I feel really blessed that my midwife in New Zealand never weighed me because she just didn't feel like it was necessary. And so I didn't know how much I weighed during pregnancy. Tell your doctor I don't want to know, or your midwife. I feel like it was really healthy for me. If you don't know how much you weigh postpartum, that's great too, because this time is not about how much you're losing, because the truth of the matter is that you just had a baby and it's all about caring for that baby, and we need to have what we need to care for our child, especially if we're breastfeeding, but even if we're not, just caring for a child in general is a lot of effort. We need to be likely consuming more than we normally do, especially with breastfeeding. That's what's so beautiful about postpartum. If we allow ourselves to have that mindset shift that says, you're okay. You don't have to be all of these things. You don't have to do everything. You don't have to be perfect with your nutrition. Nothing will be perfect during this time. It is messy and it is exhausting. Let it be. That is the mindset shift going into postpartum that will really help you mentally, is to not put so many expectations on yourself, especially when it comes to your body and what you're consuming. At the same time, nourishment is so important. And I know for me right now, because as a lot of you guys have seen over the last couple of years, I have either been pregnant, postpartum, breastfeeding for the last, it feels like 4 years, but maybe it's been 3 years. And that is a lot on my body. I am experiencing all sorts of things during postpartum. Really low energy, postpartum hair loss, which doesn't happen to everybody, but I know it's really common. Feel just like chunks coming out of my hair all of the time. I'm still breastfeeding. I need to be getting nourishment from food. I just recently started talking to a registered dietitian from Nourish. Hi, Carrie. Hi. And I've actually partnered with them for this video because I love what they're doing so much. And even though I have just started working with them, they have already been so helpful to me. What I love about it is that it's not following some strict diet. I'm able to talk to a registered dietitian to really get an idea of what foods are going to give me the best energy. And I started off my conversation saying, I do not want to put expectations for myself, not trying to lose weight. I just want to eat foods and have a mindset that is, how can I have more energy? How can I best be taking care of my baby? I don't feel like I want to go back to the version of myself before I was a mother. I love this version of myself. I want to feel like I'm allowing myself grow into this new version of myself. Nourish is the easiest way to find and speak to a registered dietitian and have it covered by your insurance. You can meet with a registered dietitian anywhere, conveniently over Zoom. The Nourish app also helps keep everything in one place in between sessions. You can monitor your progress, view your lab results, and discover recipes tailored to your goals. One of the main things that I love about Nourish is that your dietitian can order your labs, which is such a great insight into what's going on with your body. So much that goes on during postpartum. Knowing exactly what is going on is life-changing. You can even now get your labs done for free. Nourish accepts hundreds of insurance plans in all 50 states. 94% of Nourish patients pay $0 out of pocket. Plus, the Nourish guarantee is that your appointment will never cost more than the initial estimate. And as I flow through postpartum and as I'm ready to start bringing in a workout routine and things like that, which at 6 months postpartum, I'm starting to kind of feel like I might be getting there. I probably won't fully feel myself again until I'm weaned with breastfeeding. One of the main things that I got back from her when I talked to her was that I should be drinking more water, which I know is so basic. But having a registered dietitian tell you that when you tell them how much you're drinking and that you're breastfeeding and all that kind of stuff, and they're just like, girl, that is why you are so tired, made a lot of sense to me. So that was one of the biggest takeaways after our last call, and I've been implementing the water intake that she recommended, and I feel way better. If you are navigating postpartum recovery, breastfeeding, pregnancy, fertility, hormone health, or if you just simply want personalized support from a registered dietitian, I'll have my Nourish link in the description box for you guys. Habit number 6, we're gonna stop the comparison game. Let's stop comparing ourselves to others, to other mothers, others' postpartum journeys, or unrealistic expectations online, which is really interesting coming from me because I'm an influencer who obviously highlights all of the good in life. I am built that way. That's just who I am. I have always been somebody who is a glass full type of girl. I believe wholeheartedly that it is the reason why I am who I am, and I see the world the way that I see the world, and I think that it is the definition of happiness to me, is being able to see the good in all the small things in life. But that doesn't mean that my life is perfect and that I'm always happy and it's always rainbows and butterflies. I go through hard things in my life, and I experience hard moments, and I get low at times where I feel like I don't have energy and there's a lot going on. Life is not always perfect for me. I do highlight the good of motherhood, but I also try my best to balance the harder stuff too online. I think it's important to remember that every person around you, whether it's your friend that you follow on Facebook or an influencer that you're following, a content creator, everybody is gonna be posting their highlight reels on the internet. Even if you go to somebody's house, let's say, and this is especially an American thing where like you want everything to seem like you have everything put together. And I feel like maybe millennials feel like it's different these days. I think people are trying to expose themselves more in a real and like authentic way to their friends. I think that was like a very, sorry to like talk about generations, but like a boomer thing to try to make it seem like you have everything put together, even if you don't, like clean up your house to the fullest extent before you have people come over and things like that when you're a mother. And I really appreciate, one thing I love about New Zealand is that like my friend will ask me to come over for a cuppa and like things will be completely out of place. Like to me, it won't even look messy, but like, you know, the laundry will be out. There will be things all over the floor from the kids and whatnot. And like, that's real. And I love having friends like that who just show up as they are. It just reminds you that like we're all real, we're all in this together, no one's perfect. But just remember, if you do go into a situation where it feels like somebody has everything put together, it's likely different behind the scenes. Comparing yourself to people is just never going to serve you. It is not going to help you, and it's just gonna bring you down. We all have better days and we all have harder days, and it's accepting sort of that flow and roller coaster of life in general, but also life of being a mother, young children or older children, whatever it may be. Lastly, habit number 7, and I touched on this briefly, remembering how quickly this time passes, because it just does. This time that I'm in right now compared to the newborn stage, like it feels all encompassing. It feels so heavy, but also so magical. Those first 3 months, if you're in the newborn stage, they are wild, especially for your first kid. You're just like, whoa, your whole life changes. There's so much going on. It feels like it's forever, but the truth of the matter is like, it is so quick. 3 months, it's nothing. What do you mean? You were just a newborn. I literally birthed you yesterday. That's how it feels. And so as hard as it may feel in the postpartum stage at times, just know this is gonna go fast. When I talk to older people who have kids who are grown up now, all they wanna do is be back in this season. So that's what I try to remind myself of. I am going to miss this time. Holding on as tight as you can to all of the good. And while postpartum recovery is not always a linear experience, these habits do help me along the way. And if you're in the middle of postpartum right now and you're having a hard time, I hope this video reminds you to at least just give yourself some grace, because you're doing better than you think. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you are all well. I'm sending you so much love, and I'll see you soon in the next one.